today's episode is called Queenology and Kingology, gender roles, men and women.
It's actually called Kingology and Queenology.
Well, so you already started. He already started.
I've said that like 3 times. I'm not started. That's the name of the episode.
Queenology and Kingology. Because without the queen, there would be nothing.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
They already getting started. Listen,
we not getting started, and this is going to be a diplomatic, fact-based, opinion-based conversation on gender roles as we see them now in 2023 is gotten bananas. So I feel like gender roles and how they're played out in society today is an important topic because everybody has a different opinion on who's running things. You got men wearing the panties and women wearing the drawers and literally, you know what I mean? So it's a hard dynamic to navigate when you try to merge lives with someone. Who gonna run the show and who gonna how y'all work together? Basically, it ain't even who running the show. Yeah. How can y'all fit into them roles? Omar?
Absolutely. I feel like, present day, the way people feel, they're trying to run away so much from the way their parents were raised or the way their grandparents, had everything set up, that it's almost becoming this place of just confusion. It's this constant battle of who's going to lead it or who's going to run the show. And I think that should never be the focus. But I think we should look back to the successes of the older ages or the older generation, because they did have some things that did render themselves to have a better success rate than what we're doing. So if you're going to look at the numbers and look at the successes of the marriages and relationships that lasted 40, 50, 60 years, they did something right. They may did a lot of wrong, but go ahead.
With that, my parents have been married 40 plus years. And my mother's parents were married for forever. Times was different then. They didn't have social media.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing.
True.
Social media, cell phones, they have things now that kind of like just entice you to cheat. You know what I mean? And like, cause you can get away with, no, for real. They got ghost messages, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. You could delete stuff. They didn't have that back then. They didn't have cell phones. They couldn't text each other. They couldn't sext each other. Like, you had to literally get up and leave the house to do those things. And at that time, women didn't have access to cars like that. Women didn't have rights to move around like that. They couldn't have jobs like that. They had to stay and rely on their husband because they did not have the same rights that women do today. So women now feel more empowered and strong because they have rights and they can move a certain way versus years ago, women couldn't do those things. You know what I mean? If you didn't have a husband in the house, you weren't considered a real woman if you weren't married with children. We're talking about years ago, not now.
50s.
Right, like back then, that's just how women were conditioned to think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you had to stay in that marriage. If your husband cheated, you accepted that shit because he's the one paying all the bills. You can't even get a real job, you know what I mean? Like, you can't even go to school.
Yeah.
So I think that's what also made those women stay longer, and because they went through some shit now, you know what I mean? Their husbands.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, they went through stuff.
Them relationships, watching those type of relationships growing up, I feel like too much was not addressed. Too much was swept under the rug to continue the relationship.
Yes.
And by the end of it, all they had was a facade of those roles that they just lived in roles and played roles out. You know what I mean?
I think you guys are saying some great points, but it's a lot of loaded details in those viewpoints.
Right.
I think one of them is there was a focus on something greater, not the smaller, lesser, minute things. I'm not considering cheating as a minute thing, but I'm saying in the totality of everything, if I can forgive this person and let this father or this mother who may have cheated be in his household and raise our children together, they're going to maybe right now see the importance of how how you're supposed to love each other. Then later on, yeah, we can explain that it was hard and difficult and daddy did some things or mommy did some things. But right now, I need the 30 plus child later on, the 30-year-old our children in the household to see what it's going to take to make this relationship stronger, or how to raise children, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But right now, I'm going to forgive you because I know you better than that, or I know that our kids are going to benefit much more than if we split up and divorce and all that, because that hurts too. I'm a product of a divorced family. Luckily, I have my grandparents, but at the same time, I think I would be a different man if I saw my father and mother be in a healthy relationship. And I'm not saying stay necessarily doing cheating. I'm not saying that, or I'm not saying stay in an abusive relationship. What I'm saying is, if those two aren't the things, or if it's not this habitual cheating or whatever, you might want to reconsider what exchange you're giving for if you leave or not.
So I think that society needs an upgraded gender role template. The last one we had in the 50s, you know what I mean? For real.
What is the gender role template? What does that even mean?
So back then, it was the American dream, the white picket fence, the wife who didn't work, she stayed home, she took care of the kids, you got a boy and a girl, and that was the template. The guy at the home.
The American dream, the American life.
It wasn't even just a dream. That was like a reality in the suburbs, but that was the picturesque gender roles. Right. The wife in the apron, the husband with the briefcase, kids at the, you know what I mean? Like everything was defined.
So how should it look now?
That's the last like American template we got.
So how should it look now?
Okay. So
how should it look now?
How should it look now? I don't know. Because economically,
we both gonna be holding
that's not even
we both
realistic.
Gonna be holding the baby.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's
I know.
But
we both.
But still, even in that, we still have to play a certain role, and it needs to be masculine and feminine. If that's what you choose.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
if it's constant headbutting, then y'all need to learn how to. I think the new template needs to be working together for sure.
Yes.
How is y'all?
Yeah, for sure. And also, there's a differentiation between gender roles and gender responsibilities.
Right. But you would say
because my role doesn't.
Go ahead.
My role is not predicated on how much money I make or don't bring in. I'm still the man, still the leader of this household.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, the leadership does default to me, and this is in my opinion, obviously.
Right.
And I'm not looking as a woman as less than.
Right.
I'm not even focusing so much on the equality part of it. I'm saying I love her, no less than, no greater than, whether I'm bringing in the money or not. I still have to cover her spiritually. I still got to look out for her and protect her. All those things, even if she makes more money than me. My love for her is no more important than her love for me.
Exactly.
And she is, and I hopefully she also brings in her natural propensity to nurture, to be softer. On my softest days, I can't be as soft as her. On her hardest days, she can't be as hard as me. Period. And the kids gonna know that if mama definitely can't do it, daddy gonna do it.
Right.
And when that noise is at the middle of the night outside of your motherfucking house, guess what? The mama ain't going. I'm going.
Right.
No sacrifice at all.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. Yeah.
So that leadership come with great responsibility and a lot of accountability. But don't think for 1 minute I'm saying that you less than me.
No.
So that gender role and those responsibilities, I think should be carried over and grandfathered in. Our generation.
Because I'll say this, for you to lead, a woman has to subscribe to your leadership. You can't just come in and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that."
You gotta make her want to follow you.
She gotta subscribe to that leadership, or else it ain't gonna work. It's just gonna be constant friction and constant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need somebody that's gonna subscribe to you, allowing you to lead and be. I'm looking for a co-pilot.
Right.
I'm looking for a queen. a queen. That's why I call it Kingology, Queenology. Now, if both thrones are sitting next to each other, I sit in my seat, I run my seat, I run the kingdom, you sit in your seat. It's the same kingdom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a
For sure.
chessboard.
For sure.
You sit next to you.
Yeah.
And even in chess, the queen be all over the place. The king
But
sit
she's the
back.
strongest
She got a
one.
lot of
She got
flexibility,
the
don't
most
she?
moves.
She's the
You know what
strongest
I mean?
one. She's
But
the
the
strongest
king,
one.
when he moves one time, it's substantial.
Hold
If
on.
he got to move, it's serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's running the whole board, making sure everybody going where they going and doing what they doing.
A man.
Yeah.
Do that.
Who created
But guess what? Hey, to your point though. To your
all over the place.
To your point
And then when it's
though.
on the big
I
dog,
mean, when you lose your queen, that's a good sign that you might feel the
Hey, check it out though. She got
to lose your queen. You about to lose.
But you can't win the game without her.
She got to your point though. She got to subscribe to your imperfect leadership.
Yeah, for sure.
Because guess what? I'm going to make some mistakes. That does not change my role or my responsibilities. If a man, I don't know, when y'all had 9 to 5s, if you had a manager, you didn't see their mistakes, or maybe you did sometime. Either way, you still had the default to their supervision and their leadership.
Yeah.
No matter what, that don't change nothing. So at the same time, a lot of times, women, they're like, I don't want to subscribe to that leadership, or when that man messes up, it's like, oh no, I need to be doing this, or I need to be leading it. No, that's not necessarily that, because I'm not perfect.
But they have it is a lot of women that have been led right into the ground, led astray, and led and left, and led, and you know what I mean? So it's hard to subscribe to some leadership if you see patterns of things that have destroyed before. Like, I'm not willing to lead some women, honestly. I'd be like, you know what? Me trying to lead you is holding me back.
Because it's exhausting.
You know what I mean? I feel like I'm raising another child. I can't even lead you.
Damn.
You know what I mean? I can't lead you. I can't lead you from behind me. I need to lead you beside me. You know what I mean? Just move with me. Not come on.
Constantly dragging.
Come on.
It's exhausting.
Because I'm staying here telling you to come on. When I need somebody next to me, be like,
let's go, come on.
And we
Great,
make
let's go.
forward progress.
But
you know what I mean?
But that comes with growth, because my grandparents, to this day, every conversation, they both say to me, we still learn each other. We still figuring this thing out. And they 91 years old. So it's like, looking at that framework, I got to constantly be in this like humility, submission, leadership role. Like, both ways. Both people are submitting to each other. They both are giving each other grace. They both are respecting each other, allowing each other to grow, because they treat that L word totally different. And that was the forefront. They was led by love. Yeah. And love conquers all. It doesn't judge, all those kind of things. Like, we changed the definition of love, and that's where we get it wrong. Because we expecting that person to be so perfect. We expecting that person to just give us everything we need. And some days they just can't. So you're going to love that person less now that they can't? I'm sure, hey, you've been married now, so hey, this is a work in progress, and you just starting off. So
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I would not want to be a man. Y'all life is so exhausting, blood. Like, I'm looking at my husband like, y'all have to be strong. Y'all have to be leaders. Y'all gotta provide. Y'all can't be too soft. Can't be too hard. You know what I mean? Like, even when you go outside, you don't want to look like someone who's easily intimidated. You don't want to come off too intimidating. Like, it's just a lot with men.
That's a lot of synonymous with black men.
No. I'm not even talking about black men though.
But it do though. I got you. Yeah.
Like, just being a man, period. Like,
right.
There's still a lot. Even to be a Caucasian man or Hispanic, he still has to provide for his family. And if he doesn't, he's looked at as less as a man. He still has to have a job, because if he doesn't, he looks like he's a butcher. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of expectations.
But you know what though? But it's like women that, when y'all get pregnant, it come with the territory. We was built for
Right.
those kind of stresses. Like your body was built for pregnancy. Ours
Yeah.
wasn't. Ours,
Yeah.
we were conditioned and we were created with this sense of leadership, which comes this expectation of stress
Right.
that is hard at times, but we have to do it. We have to do it for you, and we have to do it for our seeds.
I know it's a lot,
I know
and I come
it is.
for real. I'm
But as
talking
long as you know that,
like, because
as long
it's a
as you
lot.
know that, as long as you know that, you're gonna be able to serve your husband even better though.
Oh, I
You know
listen. I tell
what I'm
him all
saying?
the
And
time. I'm
vice
like,
versa.
oh my. A perfect example. So he went to the gym, right? And instead of kind of intimidating looking when you see him or whatever. And so he's at the gym, and two dudes are there, and they keep giving him this vibe like they watching him, but he don't understand like he's like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? So he do the whole head nod, you know what I mean? And they kind of like nod back, and so it was a girl that was there, and apparently she was with them, you know what I mean? And so they assumed he was checking out their girl, you know what I mean? The girl that was with one of the dudes. So he had to figure out for himself like, what type of weird shit is this? Like, are they trying to set me
Right.
up? Like, as a woman,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not even thinking I'm gonna be in the gym working out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as a man, you're like, you over here, like, now you're like, is this chick trying to set me up? Is this chick with the shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are they sizing me up like that? You know what I mean? And if I don't give them some type of energy, they gonna consider me to be a punk. You know what I mean? Like, it's shit that I don't have to worry about when I go to the gym. You know what I mean? Like, if a bitch look at me
honestly,
or whatever, I'm just gonna be like,
once you reach a certain age and you prove to yourself as a man, it's pretty much like cruise control. Like, I'm on a long time, okay, this happened, X, Y, Z happened, this was gonna happen, and we're gonna, it might be different variations, but I'm not walking around concerned about if I do see something, yeah, I'm on it like that.
right,
But
exactly. But I'm just saying,
not,
as a man, like it's still different though.
Yeah, that's ingrained in you from teenage.
It is. It
right.
is.
As a man, exactly. You know what I mean?
Because it is we have a lot to lose. We do have a lot to lose and a lot to consider. Okay, am I gonna go ahead and check my ego right now to make sure my wife, my kids go home, and I go home?
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Overall, let me just go ahead and beat a punk or whatever the hell you want to call it in the moment.
Right.
But before that responsibility, our manhood was different. It looked different.
Right.
We could be out here reckless and not consider jail, whatever. We're going to beat your ass now and we be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now, yeah, part of that covering is killing our ego, killing who we really want to be in the moment.
Men love that ego strokes. We know y'all like that ego strokes.
All three, we almost here. So, one thing, gender roles, 2023, Kingology, Queenology. Omari, what you got to say? How? Why?
I think, we say what?
I said how, why, what, when, whatever.
I just think, I think we need to go back to a more foundational way of thinking. Okay, what do we want? Are we going to live life for the good of ourselves, like something selfish? Are we going to do it for a bigger picture like our family, or even for our generation / race?
Right.
Because a lot of other cultures make decisions based on how it affects their race, the totality of everybody outside of my household. So once we establish those principles right there, let's build based on that. Are we going to do? I'm not going to step outside this household. So then I don't betray your trust, and I won't have to worry about expecting you to default to my leadership. I'm going to show it. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to show you everything. The woman in return is going to show what she's bringing to the table, what she's capable of doing, capable of submitting. She's going to come into it with a clear mind of, you know what? I know I was hurt in the past. These dudes over here did hurt me. I made the wrong decisions, but I choose you to be my husband or my mate to build into a husband. And I'm going to go ahead and start this a clean slate. I think we established those kind of moments of clarity where we just forgive each other and forgive what moms and dads did to each other and all that kind of stuff. And we could build from there, because all the trauma and the PTSD that we're dealing with reflects in the way we are our inabilities to love and our inabilities to serve who we see in front of us now, because who we see now represents our past hurts and all that kind of stuff, unfortunately. So
Relationship trauma. That's our next
episode. That is not. But we will have an episode.
Relationship. We'll be talking about relationship trauma because I got a lot to talk about.
I want to see what's up with that one.
I have a lot to talk about with goddamn Kingology and Queenology. The relationship trauma. Listen, I've been traumatized over women for years. We got something to talk about. So next time we will be talking about relationship trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shoot, we about to get real.
Right. Look, so I want to say with gender roles, Kingology and Queenology, it has a lot to do with mindset.
Yeah.
Mindset. Don't keep the same mindset if you feel like it's unhealthy. It's okay to grow and elevate and stuff. And like I said earlier, the woman has to subscribe to the man's leadership. Woman, if you can't subscribe to that man's leadership, you probably don't need to be with him. You probably don't, You probably don't. And so, that's what I gotta say about gender roles. Play your roles, play your positions, man. Read the books. I read Kingology and Queenology by R.C. Blakes Jr. I read both of them things. Get a grip.
Hey, why you rolling your eyes? Relax, bro.
He do that all the
because,
time, man,
I mean, I don't agree with everything dude was saying, but I did agree with a lot of what he was saying.
Okay. But
I believe in 50-50 roles.
50-50? I believe in 100-100. If you ain't bringing your all, and I ain't bringing my all,
you be over the top.
That ain't over the top. If you can't control, if you can't keep my undivided attention, then you don't need 50% of it.
Yeah, those problems.
Y'all so crazy.
We're gonna let you go, man.
I love
we appreciate you coming on to the show, man.
I love
Thank
y'all,
you,
man.
friend. I'm so proud of you. You said some real shit. You didn't disappoint me because I was like, if you say something crazy.
Hey,
it was good.
This thing called life is a trial and error for all of us.
For sure.
We just trying to figure this thing out.
And this is what's unnecessary, what's necessary and what's unnecessary out here. Because I see a lot of stuff that's necessary and a lot of stuff is unnecessary. We need to talk about it to see what is we doing? You feel me?
Right.
What is we doing?
Man, y'all keep doing what y'all
Everybody
doing.
just doing anything.
Keep pushing these lines, man. I'm so proud of y'all, man. Y'all keep doing it. Keep doing it. For sure. I'm gonna start promoting y'all some more and getting y'all pushed into these rooms, man, because y'all important to the culture. For real.
Swear. All right, we gonna let you go, man. We gonna tune out. Appreciate you, man.
Okay, now y'all.
Bye.
All right.